It's more than a game.
It's more than just practice. It's more than coaching.
It's more than learning.
It's more than a team.
Es más que el béisbol.
Being a good teammate.
Being responsible.
It's being a hard worker.
It's learning how to communicate.
It's becoming the best version of myself.
It's more than baseball. It's a program that transforms lives.
And that's why we need your help to transform the baseball field at Atlantic Cape that has gone unused for years. Through the Bring It Home Capital campaign, we'll work to restore and revitalize the field on campus, giving the Buccaneers a true home field advantage, where we can honor their hard work and dedication. We don't just teach these young men how to be better ball players, we teach them how to be better people, instilling values like responsibility, commitment, and dependability. Our players understand that what happens on the field is only part of the picture. What they do in the classroom, at home, and in their communities is just as important as being a well-rounded athlete. Help us bring it home. Let's show these young athletes that there's nothing that can't be accomplished through determination and teamwork. It's more than baseball. It's changing lives. And together, we can make a difference.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sandcastle Stadium for today's Region 19 baseball contest between the visitors of Rowan College, South Jersey, Cumberland Dukes, and your Atlantic Cape Buccaneers. For BFA Sports, Doug Stasic, the BFA Sports crew, here what is a bit of a foggy afternoon in Atlantic City. Beautiful day for baseball. Wind is gently blowing in from center field. And if you kind of noticed that the center field camera, well, we don't call our center field camera operator Casper for nothing, because sometimes you may see the strike zone and sometimes you just may not. That's the way the fog's kind of rolling in, but it seems to be clearing up just a little bit as we have a view out towards the bay of Atlantic City. And it's a double dip, so we're going to have two streams going for you this afternoon. First one scheduled in just a few minutes at 2 p.m. as you see the managers for both of these clubs. For the visitors, the Cumberland Dukes, Mr. Marco Carolla to your right, and to the left, Mr. Rodney Velarde, who, wouldn't you know, his younger son Joey on the BFA live stream yesterday hit the walk-off RBI game-winning single for the Egg Harbor Township Eagles as they had taken down the Ocean City Red Raiders. But this is the collegiate ranks. We're almost ready to go, so let's take a look at our starting lineups. First, for the visitors of Rowan College, South Jersey, Cumberland. Leading things off, it'll be the second baseman, number 32, Christian Rinnick. Shortstop batting second, Casey Vaughn. Ben Myers bats third. He's out in right. James Hallman is the designated hitter with cleanup duties. Connor Bain, number 21, is in center field. Buna's own Jimmy Kurtz gets the start over at first. He bats sixth. Joe Jasinski is over at the hot corner, batting seventh. Adrian Furpo is in left field, and rounding out the order behind the dish is John Wallace, and he'll be the battery mate of Mikael Goods once he takes the hill in the bottom half of the frame. And defensively for your Atlantic Cape Buccaneers. Left to right in the outfield, it's Javi Vega. Kevin Foreman, St. Augustine alum, is in center. Trace Warner is over in right field, and at third base, it'll be Devi Suarez. Louis Sari, a high school teammate of Joey Kurtz, gets the start at short. Andrew Baldino of Absegami is at second. Eduardo Tanoco is your first baseman. Behind the dish, it'll be Gabe Solinsky. And your starter, the ace of the Buccaneers staff, number 5, Joe Hamill. So Hamill takes his warm-up pitches. We're just about ready for baseball here on this very spring weather teasing like. I'm going to guess it's about 65 degrees here in Atlantic City at the time of first pitch. And started things off today, it will be Rinnick, Vaughn, and Myers up for the Dukes of Cumberland. Appreciate you all tuning in. And this is going to be quite the contest. Again, talking to head coach Marco Carolla. Pretty happy with the results from yesterday's contest for Atlantic Cape. And as such, he's going to go with a very similar lineup. Led to a Buccaneer victory as of yesterday. So we'll get right to it. Starting things off, it'll be number 32, the second baseman, Christian Rinnick. Hamill's first pitch in for a called strike. Takes that ball outside, evens the count at 1-1. For the Buccaneers, wearing their navy blue with crimson-like lettering and white trim. And for the Dukes, the road grays, navy blue numbers trimmed in gold. There's a hard grounder over to third base. It'll be Suarez, and he gets it over to Tanoco for the 5-3 putout. One out in the books, fundamental baseball. I want to give a shout out to our buddy Vin Ebenu, who usually is calling the play-by-play for our Dukes here in 2023. He had another assignment, so more than happy to set myself back into confines here in Atlantic City as Casey Vaughn steps in to bat. Vaughn takes pitch number 1. Low for a ball as Hamill kicks and fires. The 1-1 delivery. That'll miss low. 2-1 is the count to Casey Vaughn. Ball misses low, and Vaughn has worked his way into a full count. And a one-out base runner aboard as Vaughn draws the walk. With one out, Vaughn making himself comfortable at first. It'll be the right fielder, Ben Mayers. Hamill working ahead, 1 strike on the board. Good block behind the dish by Solinsky. But they're keeping in front. 1-1 count with Vaughn over at first base. Hamill peers over his shoulder, fires yet again. Hamill continuing to dance around the zone. Some patience here by Mayers. Works himself into a 3-1 count. Runner goes. Hard hit ball down the line. That one's going to be fair. Vaughn is on his horse. He rounds third, and he's going to score standing up on the RBI double, courtesy of Ben Mayers for the Dukes. Really good piece of hitting here as you just see him pull the ball inside, finds the chalk just inside the bag. That one is hit hard enough to go all the way down the corner. And Vaughn already was headed to second base. He's looking to steal that base perhaps on the hit and run. Was able to score from first. So Cumberland Dukes strike first on the RBI double from Ben Mayers as the designated hitter, James Hallman, takes pitch number 1 for a called strike. Ball misses up. Now 2-1 to Hallman. Perhaps Hamill finding his zone just a little bit here, getting comfortable, and now able to work himself back into a even 2-2 count against the designated hitter. Ball just misses, and back-to-back batters now face a 3-1 count from Hamill. Swing and a miss. Healthy hack, and he got him. So that was a full count strikeout for Hamill. Puts one in the books. 2 down now for the Dukes. It's Connor Bain, center fielder, batting from the right side. Will dig in. Hard hit ball up the middle. Sorry with a chance. He spins, fires, and he gets him. So a nice play by the Buna alum to end the frame on the 6-3 putout, but not before the Dukes strike first. They score 1 run, leave 1 runner aboard on just 1 hit. We head to the bottom of the first. Buccaneers coming to bat here on BFA. Bottom of the first here on BFA Sports. The Buccaneers will face Mikhail Goods, the Egg Harbor Township alum. Getting those Eagles coming back with a pulsating, heart-racing win yesterday over the Red Raiders of Ocean City. He's going to face this lineup. Leading off, it'll be Andrew Baldino. Kevin Foreman bats second. Louis Sari with the outstanding web gem bats third. Gabe Solinsky, he's behind the dish, as you know, and he is batting cleanup. Eduardo Tanako is over at first. Trace Warner gets the start in right field. Batting seventh is Javi Vega of ACIT. Devy Suarez is over at the hot corner batting eighth. And Ethan Coursey the designated hitter, will round out the lineup for the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers. And it will be Absegami's own Andrew Baldino. Lead things off. First pitch from Goods, in for a called strike. Evens the count now at 1-1. One pitch. Off the mark, now 2-1. Baldino comes into this contest with a .238 batting average. Evens the count now at 2-2 as Goods battles back. Of course, Baldino also a pitcher for the Bucks. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, so the lefty, Mikhail Goods, off to a strong start, puts a K in the book. As he'll face off against the center fielder, Kevin Foreman. Kevin Foreman has had an impressive campaign thus far here for the Buccaneers, especially with the bat. Ball one is called. Foreman with a .697 slugging percentage. And he launches one out to left, going to go right at the left fielder in Firpo. And he'll make the squeeze for the F7 putout in your scorebook. 2 up, 2 down. And the festive music can only mean one thing, and that's the shortstop, Louis Sari. Getting a chance to dig in here from the right side. Sari, another Buccaneer that's been busy with the bat with a .526 batting average. Sari showing some 2-out patience, working himself to a 2-0 count. Make that 3-0 for Louis Sari. So Sari draws a 4-pitch walk. And that'll bring the catcher, Gabe Selinsky, to the dish. Batting in the cleanup spot. See if Sari's going to be aggressive here. 2 outs, trying to get a Buccaneer into scoring position. It's now 5 straight balls for Mikhail Goods. Goods fires yet again. Now 2-0 count. Goods checks Sari back to first. Good's in a little bit of a pitching rut. 7 straight balls. Battles back, locks in the free one, 3-1. As he comes to Solinsky. Solinsky with 19 RBI. He's going to find his way aboard. So the Buccaneers, 2 runners aboard here in the bottom of the first. Eduardo Tinoco steps to the dish. The runner in scoring position. Tinoco appeared in 10 games for the Buccaneers. This start now being his 11th. You can see now the fog starts to circle through the outfield. Again, it's going to come in waves today. So we'll do our best to work around the sometimes obstructed view of the camera. So right now I can barely see the center fielder, Bain, from the booth. Matter of fact, he's blending in with the grass as Tinoco works his way to a 3-0 count. As tones of the old Eagles playing the Bears, the '88 playoffs. Actually, I think it was 91. My brother from another outfisher hold me accountable to that one. I'm sure if he's watching right now, I'll get a text almost any minute. Walk. That's 3 straight walks. So the Buccaneers load the bases here in the bottom of the first. That'll cue a quick visit to the mound. Cumberland Dukes are going to talk things over, and a good time to remind everybody, if you're interested in the classes and courses for Atlantic Cape, looking to enroll, well, head on over to atlantic.edu for more information, whether or not you're a recent high school graduate looking to start your college education at a great value, or perhaps a continuing education scenario as an adult or looking to change careers. No better place than to check out atlantic.edu. Become a Buccaneer now. www.atlantic.edu. So the bases are loaded. Louis Sari at third, Solinsky at second, Tinoco is at first as Trace Warner with an opportunity to tie the ball game or maybe even take the lead. Goods is trying to settle in after he's given up 3 consecutive walks. Warner works the count to 2-0. Comes to the plate with a .268 batting average. 6 walks, 6 RBI. Goods able to answer back. Breaking pitches away. Now 3-1. And a RBI bases loaded walk to tie the game from Trace Warner. We got ourselves a tie ball game, 4 consecutive walks. So Atlantic Cape showing some patience. Javi Vega will be the 7th batter of the inning for Atlantic Cape. First pitch in for a called strike to Vega. count now at 1-1. Vega with a .429 on base percentage thus far in 2023. Works ahead now. Is Goods. Goods now trying to get out of a jam. Vega lifts one out to shallow center field, kind of no man's land, and a great catch by Casey Vaughn as it blew into shallow left center. But Vaughn, little reverse basket catch, first web gem, and he helps out his teammate Goods in a big way as the Atlantic Cape threat is ended, but not before they're able to tie the ball game. They leave them loaded. One runner scores, no hits. We got ourselves a 1-1 contest as we head to the second here on BFA. Back to live action here in Atlantic City. A little bit of a San Francisco-like feel as the fog rolls in. I mean, the only thing missing are some kayaks, perhaps out in the outfield. You can see it's a little thick out there as we look from our intern's camera, Casper T-Ripod. And a good day to be a ghost. There's plenty of cloud cover out there. Due up this inning for the Dukes, Kurtz, Jasinski, and Furpo. Of course, the RCSJ Cumberland Dukes come to town after a 13-4 victory yesterday versus the Buccaneers out in Vineland. Kurtz, the Buna alum, takes pitch number 1 for a ball. Here's the pitcher Hamill. Bit of a hurry as he starts to pick up tempo here. Now 1-1. Kurtz now going to try to fight through a 1-2 count. Kurtz, nice job on a defensive swing. Keep himself moving along. Kurtz with a .333 batting average through 14 games this year. Kurtz, prototypical looking power hitter from the left side. Big target over at first base as he ropes one foul down the line, right side. This here at a 2-2 count as you look at the Buccaneer bench cheering on their pitcher Joe Hamill. Be the 7th of the at-bat to Kurtz. It's now a 3-2 count for the big first baseman. Hamill fires. Kurtz launches one into the gap, left center, but Javi Vega, he'll be there to rob him of what could have been a double. So good heads-up defense by the ACIT alum. And a good battle by Jimmy Kurtz on that 8-pitch at bat. The third baseman, Joe Jasinski, now dig into the box. Takes the first pitch for a called strike, and you can hear from our field mic. The Dukes didn't love the call, but the Buccaneers sure did. And now 1-1. Make that 2-1. And you can hear some police training going on out in Bader Field. So we assure you that everything is A-okay if you're watching. They're just going through some exercises, but our crowd mic is apparently so strong it's picking up. It's going over the loudspeaker. And it's a full count as Hamill still has plenty of gas in the tank. That ball is fouled out of play towards the parking lot. Just missed legendary to making camera op Nick Penz's hair. All right, still a full count here to Joe Jasinski. And that is a walk. So 2 good battles at the dish for the Dukes to start this frame, making Hamill work a bit more than he intended. And Atlantic City's finest also going to work in the far background beyond center field as Adrian Firpo steps into the box. That ball fouled straight back to the screen. Quickly a 1-strike count to the left fielder. Firpo, freshman, has appeared in now his 6th game. Been hot with the bat with a .667 batting average and limited opportunities. There's a throw down to second base and a stolen one as Jasinski slides in head first for the swiped bag. Hamill now looks back. Fires yet at strike number 3, so a way to finish as he gets Firpo 3 straight pitches. Second strikeout of the afternoon. So with 2 outs, 1 runner in scoring position, the catcher John Wallace climb aboard. Pitch in for a called strike. Of course, this is a double-header affair, so we're going to play 2 7-inning games. So we're here now in the top of the 2nd. There's a hard chopper. Sorry, he's going to gather, fire, and get the would-be base runner to end this frame. So no runs, no hits, 1 runner left on. A tie contest at 1. As the Buccaneers come to the plate, the bottom of the 2nd. Back here in the bottom of the second, due up for the Buccaneers, it'll be Suarez, Corsi, and Baldino. Doug Stasic of the BFA Sports Crew. And there's a look at what you've been hearing in the background as Atlantic City Police Department going through some training exercises, as they customarily do from time to time out here in Atlantic City. But they're utilizing their loudspeaker that comes out of the vehicle, so you may actually hear them giving some training exercise instructions. And if that's the case, we'll do our best to have fun and appreciate, of course, the Atlantic City Police Department and all the public services over here in Atlantic City for all that they do and being such accommodating hosts for Atlantic Cape Community College baseball, as Davey Suarez swings at pitch number 1. Quickly down 1 strike. Suarez, chopper over to third base. Going to be Jasinski. Pulls Kurtz off the bag, and that might be a bit costly, as the Buccaneers have a leadoff runner, courtesy of Suarez. You can see he did a nice job. Jasinski just had the momentum carry him to the left side, and even though Kurtz is about a 6'4" target, still doesn't have legs long enough to hold the bag there. E5 will go in the books as the designated hitter Ethan Corsi comes to the dish. Corsi takes ball number 1. Now even count 1-1 for the pitcher, Mikael Goods. This is upstairs. Got to give credit to this audio today. Producer Ryan Schumacher's outdone himself. I'm hearing phones ring, police car, training instruction. I think I heard somebody over at the McDonald's ordering a Big Mac. Counts now 2-2 to Corsi. Corsi chopper, third base side, but foul. Goods winds and delivers. Corsi now has battled his way into a full count. 1 runner aboard, bottom of the second. Called, third strike. And Goods puts his second K in the books this afternoon, as the Buccaneers head back to the top of the lineup with Andrew Baldino. Good look at Goods. Was able to shake it off. He had 4 consecutive walks back in the first, but seems to be locked back in on the zone for the most part here in the second. That ball is skied out to right field. Put the squeeze on it is Ben Mayers. Suarez will have to work his way back. Kevin Foreman batting in the 2 spot. He'll climb aboard. An opportunity as he takes ball number 1. Foreman flew out to left field in his first at bat. .485 batting average coming into this contest. Takes a curveball for a strike. 1-2. Foreman a true 5-tool player. Drawing quite a bit of interest from programs at the next level. Hard ball goes off of Goods' foot. Foreman will be aboard with an infield base hit. And that'll allow Suarez to move over to second. So a good piece of hard hitting there as Kevin Foreman able to put some barrel on this baseball. Takes the curveball right back at Goods, and as you can see, you're not going to beat Foreman as he's got arguably the best speed in Region 19. So a meeting of the minds out at the mound as head coach Marco Carolla comes out to take a look at Goods. Of course, with that ball coming off his foot, a little bit of a precautionary measure there, I'm sure. All right, so it appears that Goods is A-OK, and ball game will continue on. Louis Sari, who walked and later scored the bases loaded run to tie the ball game in the first, comes to bat here in the second with 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. Suarez at second, Kevin Foreman over at first. As Goods looks back at Suarez, delivers. Suarez headed for third. Here comes the throw. And no chance as Wallace able to take him down and eliminate the would-be threat. That'll end the frame. You see it here on the BFA replay. A laser show in the middle of the day in Atlantic City. We're tied at 1. We head to the third. Coming up next. Top of the third, due up for the Dukes. It'll be the top of the order. Rinnick, Vaughn, and Mayers expected to come to the plate. Still facing starting pitcher Joe Hamill. Rinnick grounded out to third in his first at-bat. And that ball is popped up third base side, but just into the stands, about the 4th or 5th row. As all the fans scatter to get the ball. Rennick now with a 1-strike count. Healthy hack at that nasty breaking ball from the hands of Joe Hamill. Able to lay off that pitch. Gets him. So Hamill with some nasty stuff. Puts another K in the books. His 3rd of the afternoon. Came into this frame with 40 pitches in the books. Unofficially, of course. As Casey Vaughn comes to bat. Vaughn reached on a walk back in inning number 1. And he scored off the bat of Ben Mayers. Peppers on foul off the Sweets. Single game Sweet sale still available. That ball's fouled back into the screen. It's now 1-2 to Casey at the bat, Vaughn. Hamill continues to attack the zone. He's got himself a 2-2 count. Make that full to Casey Vaughn. There's a called 3rd strike. Back-to-back Ks for Joe Hamill. He is getting nasty. 4 Ks now in the afternoon. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Ben Mayers, with the RBI double in his first at-bat. Pitch number 1 is in for a ball. Shouldn't be much of a surprise as Mayers through 15 games had a .447 average coming in. As he skies one, foul side, out of play, just beyond the dugout and seats behind the Dukes. For you Phillies fans out there, they currently trail the Yankees 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th on Aaron Nola Day. Certainly a busy day for a lot of South Jersey baseball fans. High school season is in full swing. Got ourselves a double dip here. That ball's hit again, foul, right side and out of play. I know the athletic director for Rowan College, South Jersey, Cumberland, J.D. Diamco, very busy in his own right. Multiple sports going on, and I hear a visit from the Special Olympics on campus back in Vineland. Hope all is going well. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, so it'll be 1-2-3 as Joe Hamill strikes out the side to retire the Dukes in order in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. Head to the bottom of the 3rd. Coming up next here on BFA Sports. It'll be Sari, Selinsky, and Tanoko to get things going here in the third for Atlantic Cape. Sari was at the plate when the previous frame ended as Suarez was caught stealing third base. So Sari will get a fresh count and an opportunity to lead things off here in the third. First pitch taken for a ball. There's a hard hit ball over to the third base side. Jasinski gets it to Kurtz for the 5-3 putout. One out, the catcher Gabe Selinsky reached on a walk back in the first. Climb in. First pitch misses for a ball for the Buccaneers. Despite the loss yesterday versus these Dukes, come into the contest with a 7-6 overall record. 4-5 in the conference. Had a pair of games at Salem, end up getting canceled, but the doubleheader on the 31st right here resulted in a pair of wins. We're hoping they can perhaps repeat a little bit of doubleheader history and run back a pair of wins here today. We'll see what happens. It's a 1-2 count now to Selinsky. Chopper goes foul. Selinsky hanging in there still with a 1-2 count. Mikael Goods, 47 pitches coming into this third frame. Delivers strike number 3. A touch of nastiness. Third strikeout of the day. And with 2 outs, the first baseman, Eduardo Tanoko. Try to spark the Atlantic Cape offense. Good block down in the dirt by the catcher Wallace. Appreciate the extra effort there by him. There's no runners aboard. Certainly with the video rolling, good way to impress those coaches. Two-0 count now as the lefty, Mikael Goods, continue to go to work. Rebounds with that pitch, making it 2-1 to the first baseman. Southpaw looks into his catcher Wallace. The 2-2 pitch, 2 outs. Tanoko, after reaching on a walk in the last frame, showing some more patience here. So that one's fouled straight back. Good look at the Buccaneer dugout. Enjoying this early April, can't say traditionally good weather in South Jersey baseball or war. And that was a nasty pitch. So he gets him to chase the cheese high. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the third as Goods sends him down in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. Still a tie ball game. We move to the fourth. Coming up next. Hallman, Bain, and Kurtz due to appear here for the Rowan College of South Jersey Cumberland Dukes. Joe Hamill back on the hill for the Buccaneers. Struck out all three batters he faced in the third. A 1-1 count to Hallman, who struck out back in the first. 2-1 now. Good work there by the center fielder, Connor Bain. On the hustle play, that ball sky high, shallow right field. Getting underneath of it is Warner, and he's got the squeeze. So if you've ever played baseball in Atlantic City, you know the high pop-up is no easy task to contend with, but he's able to keep composure and put the squeeze on. One out. Center fielder Connor Bain steps into the box. First pitch offer in for a ball. Being grounded out to shortstop. Back in his first at bat. Even the count now at 1-1. Chopper foul. Makes it now 1-2. Again, Buccaneers dialed in. Coach Rodney Velarde. Breaking pitch by Hamill is away, and I should say high. It's now 2-2. Nasty curveball for strike three. That one had late life, and Bain can just admire it. So here it is on the BFA instant replay. Good vertical break, probably about 18 inches. For Hamill, continuing to be nasty. So he has struck out 4 of the last 5 batters he's faced as the left-handed swinger Jimmy Kurtz Takes the first pitch, skies it high. Louis Sari will be underneath. Puts it in his glove. And the Dukes go down in order in the fourth. No runs, no hits, nobody on. Still a tie ball game. Here come the Buccaneers. It's not Halloween. It looks a little frightening, but no, it's just a foggy April afternoon here in Atlantic City. And behind that, I believe, is supposed to be the Tropicana. So I believe that's the Tropicana, but you're going to struggle to see it. You're in for a good sight, though, of a great baseball game. As Mikhail Goods comes back out for the Cumberland Dukes. First pitch is fouled off by Trace Warner. Warner, Vega, and Suarez due up in the bottom of the fourth. Nasty pitch down in the dirt. Goods now ahead 0-2, and he gets the chase. Oh, I'm sorry, make that. There's a hard hit ball towards the right center field gap. Warner's going to be aboard, going to stretch it for two. Bain funnels it in, and the Buccaneers in business off the Warner stand-up double. So Javi Vega popped up to the shortstop. Casey Vaughn back in the first. Going to try to give the Buccaneers a lead here. Squares the bunt. Can't get it done, and Warner going to have to hurry back. Jimmy Kurtz creeps up from the first base position, try to cover the bunt. Bunt goes third base side. It's a good spot. Goods turns and looks, throws the ball into right field. That's going to allow Warner to score, and Vega is going to move all the way over to second base on what was supposed to be a sacrifice bunt. So great execution by the big man, Javi Vega. Put it in a bit of no man's land. You'll just see here. So Goods turns and fires, maybe rush that throw just a bit. And as he did, out of the outstretched reach of Rennick. So Warner scores all the way from second base. And now Vega will switch places with him on the rare E1 overthrow. Davey Suarez turns the bunt. Ball misses. Suarez now squaring a bunt again. Goods looks it in. Fouls it off. Makes it now 1-1. One and two. Ball foul back into the screen. For you Phillies fans, Phillies in the top of the seventh were able to cut the lead of the Yankees down 2-1 thanks to a sacrifice fly from Jake Cave. Scored Nick Castellanos. Suarez now works his way into a 2-2 count. Initially tried to get the bunt down. Got into a 2-strike count, so now he'll get the green light to swing away. Swing and a miss. Big out for Mikhail Goods as he rebounds from that tough last play. The designated hitter, Ethan Corsi, steps in. Snap throw back to second. Wallace trying to keep Vega alert. Certainly sends a message there. Ball misses up and out of the zone now, 2-0. Oh, of course he thought about bunting. Called on the strike. So we got one out, 2-1 count now. And now Goods, the 2-2 delivery. Called, third strike. Back-to-back Ks for Egg Harbor Township alum Mikhail Goods. 2 outs, runner at second base. Andrew Baldino checks in. Baldino 0 for 2 on the afternoon, flew out to right field in his last plate appearance. Baldino now 2-0 count. Baldino skies it high. It's going to be in the infield. Vaughn will call for it, and he'll make the catch. So, 1 run scored on 1 hit. They left 1 on second base. The Buccaneers taking the lead. We're through 4 in Atlantic City. Top of the fifth. The Dukes will send Jasinski, Firpo, and Wallace to the dish. Jasinski walked back in the second, stole a base. Next pitch for Hamill is up and out of the zone. There's a hard hit ball, goes off the web of Suarez. Actually, that's a hard hit ball right there. And he'll reach on the error. It's Adrian Firpo, the left fielder, struck out looking back in the second. He squares the bunt and ends up getting hit by the pitch. Just telling our producer Ryan Schumacher that Phillies game last inning, Alec Boehm got drilled between the numbers on his back. That's not easy to do. Tough spot to be in there, though, as they're trying to get a sacrifice bunt down, and that'll cue head coach Rodney Velarde. Again, I mentioned Hamill had 65 pitches through 4. So perhaps he's talking things over, trying to set up the defense of how to defend this bunt with 2 runners aboard. Hamill's been showing really great command thus far. 6 strikeouts in the books. And he's only yielded 1 hit. The catcher, John Wallace, grounded out to short in his first appearance back in the second. He'll now go to work with nobody out. He tries to drop a bunt, and that's fouled into the screen. So, small ball on from both dugouts thus far. The challenge has been trying to get some of them down. Hamill looks and delivers. Called a foul ball. And now an 0-2 count. The question is, will head coach Marco Carolla have him swing away? Or will he try to stick it down? Nobody out here in the 5th. Now 1-2 offering. Two and 2 to John Wallace. Fighting his way out of an 0-2 hole. Joe Hamill now. Be a 3-2 full count with 2 runners aboard. Called, 3rd strike, gets him looking. So Joe Hamill, 7th K in the books. Back to the top of the order here in the 5th. There's a ball hit to the left side. It's going to drop fair. No foul. Foul is the call. I got tongue twisted on that. It's a long first strike, so we'll call that. But looks like might have been a nice piece of hitting for the leadoff hitter, Christian Rinnick. Ball's off the fist. You're going to say it was foul. Went off of him in the box. Making it 0-2. Snow Hamill working ahead. 2 runners on. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Joe Hamill. Tries to navigate some muddy waters here in the middle of this contest. So Jasinski is at second. Firpo is over at first for Cumberland. 2 outs is Casey Vaughn, the shortstop. Tries to tie this ball game. Ball is fouled out of play. Left side. Even count at 1-1. 2-out delivery. Vaughn hits one high. It's out towards left field. Vega's underneath. It'll make the play to avoid another potential Cumberland rally. So no runs, no hits, 2 runners left aboard. Still 2-1 as the Buccaneers come to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. Got ourselves a heck of a ball game. First half of the doubleheader. Atlantic Cape leads the RCSJ Cumberland Dukes 2-1. Kevin Foreman, Louis Sari, and Gabe Solinsky look to kick things off here in the 5th for Atlantic Cape. Pitch to Foreman is up in the zone. Foreman with a hard hit ball went off of Goods' foot back in the 2nd. Makes him 1 for 2 today. Two 2-0 from Goods. Foreman, bit of a prototypical leadoff hitter in his own right. Works this count to 3-0. As he tries to get aboard. Good job by Goods. Battle back. Ball hit over to third. It'll be Jasinski. Takes Kurtz off the bag, but he sticks with it. Gets Foreman on the 5-3 putout. Good focus there by Jimmy Kurtz defensively to stick with it. Been a tough assignment thus far, as some throws have been uncharacteristically off the mark for the Cumberland Dukes. Pride themselves on great defense today, but Kurtz always goes above and beyond in any way he can for his team. Continues to do so today. So Louis Sari, the shortstop, he's batting in the 3 spot, taking ball number 1. 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to third, back in the third. Thought about that one and let it go. For those baseball fans that continue to follow the Phillies-Yankees series, Yankees stretched their lead to 4-1 on a bottom of the 7th 2-run home run by Jose Trevino. 2-1 count. Aaron Nola was lifted after about 7 innings of 6 1/3 inning work. Scattered 7 hits, gave up 2 earned runs. Sorry now. Continuing to battle, 2-2 count. As he faces Mikael Goods. That home run in that Phillies-Yankees game, I might add, was from Gregory Soto in relief. There's a hard hit ball from Sari. It's going way back to left field. Going to get over the head and off the base of the fence. Sari is in for a stand-up double as he launched one over Furpo. And he almost got it all. If that air wasn't so thick today with the fog, you just never know.
Number 24,
1 out, Buccaneers threatening. Gabe Solinsky, the catcher, 0 for 1, struck out looking back in the third. Takes pitch number 1 for a ball. Good pitch there by Mikael Goods. Solinsky now looks down a 1-1 count. Solinsky lifts one to right. It's fading towards the chalk, and it's going to drop in like a good 7-iron. Here comes a delayed run by Sari. He's going to go for the plate. He's going to be called out. So he came home on a bit of a delay run. He stayed up at third, thought he had a chance, continued to run, and then he's gone down. You'll see it here on the BFA replay. See, Sari picked up the throw, came late. Wallace does a great job staying out in front of the plate. Sari comes down, and the tag is applied as he falls towards the ground. Nice play defensively by Wallace and a relay by Riddick. Two outs, and it could be a costly one for the Buccaneers. Eduardo Tanako. Works his way to a 2-0 count. Heads up play by Solinsky though on the throw. He was able to move in the second, but the Buccaneers end up giving up an out in order to make that happen. Nice piece of hitting on his part. 3-0 is the count. This should be unofficially the 97th pitch for Mikael Goods. Called strike. Chopper foul, third base side. This count is full. Goods, wides and fires. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That will end the inning. So big time response from Mikael Goods. And they're able to keep the Buccaneers off the board on a big time play from Ben Mayers and Rinnick and Wallace on the 9-4-2 combo. No runs, 2 hits. They leave 1 runner stranded. We head to the 6th. Top of the 6th, Mayers, Hallman, and Bain up for the Dukes. Some action in the bullpen for Rowan College of South Jersey, Cumberland, as David Gross appears to be warming up out there. And update for Phillies fans, Kyle Schwarber with a solo home run in the 8th. It's closed the gap to 4-2. But there is David Gross of the Dukes as he gets loose, most likely ready to come in the bottom part of this inning. As Goods finishes 5 innings with about 99 pitches for Cumberland. So Ben Mayers takes pitch number 1 for a ball. Speaking of great pitching performances, Joe Hamill. It's been fantastic. 79 pitches through 5 innings of work unofficially. There's a ball sky high right at Foreman in center field. He'll come underneath the baseball and I'll squeeze it into his glove. James Hallman, the designated hitter, 0 for 2, flew out to right back in the 4th. Pitch number 1 is out of the zone. Ball misses on the outside corner. Quick 3-0 count to Hallman. It's the freebie, making it 3-1. Ball sky high, first base side, but it's going to be out of play. The concrete here at the Sandcastle Stadium is not friendly to those baseballs. Chop foul. Now full count. The Atlantic City Police Department continues to go through training exercises on this foggy Tuesday out here at Boehner Field. There's a grounder hit hard over into the corner. It'll be Suarez. Gets it to Tanoco, and that is a 5-3 putout. There's a called strike. Connor Bain. Bain 0 for 2 on the afternoon. It's quickly down 0-2 to Joe Hamill. And they are fired up. Grounder, it's to Sorry. Sorry gonna shoot, scoop, and fire to end the frame. With a 6-3 put out to Connor Bain. So 3 up, 3 down. No runners, no hits, nobody left on. Atlantic Cape, Buccaneers take another shot with the bats as we move to the bottom of the 6th. The new pitcher is David Gross for the Dukes. Set to face Warner, Vega, and Suarez as we get things moving in the 6th. Cale Goods 99 pitches through 5 innings of work. A nice job in his own right. Scattered 4 hits. There's a chopper for Warner, foul. So he's down now 0-2. Another ball fouled back into screen. This is at now 1-2. Ball hit high out to center field. Baines got the catch. Retire the first batter of the 6th from David Gross. Javi Vega reached on an error. He went to drop a sacrifice bunt back in the 4th. He tries to get the Atlantic Cape offense going here. Hits one foul, left side, and out of play. As this game wanes on, as it gets late. Ball's inside to Vega. He's got a 1-1. Phillies Yankees heads to the top of the 9th. Phillies will come to bat trailing by 2, 4-2. Now 1-2. Hard hit balls through the left side. They're not going to be able to get to it. So a good hit there by Javi Vega. He's got a 1-out base runner here for the Buccaneers. Davey Suarez. 0 for 2 today. Struck out back in the 4th. Reached on an error back in the 2nd. Atlantic Cape looking for some insurance late in this contest. He now faces David Gross. Ball's hit to the third base side. They're going to go for 2. 5, 4, and 3. Gazinski, Rinnick, and Kurtz. So Buccaneers try to cash in late, but wouldn't have it thanks to the defense of the Dukes. Goes in the books 5, 4, 3. So no runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. Last at bat, at least in regulation, for Rowan College of South Jersey Cumberland, and that is next. Here we are in the top of the 7th. Jimmy Kurtz, Joe Jasinski, and Adrian Firpo try to keep this game going for RCSJ Cumberland as they trail 1 as we start the 7th. Joe Hamill trying to go the distance. Kurtz takes a called strike, now works 2-1 as he tries to get a rally going for Cumberland. Continues the fight, evens the count now at 2-2. Gets fouled straight back. Hard hit ball by Kurtz to the right side, but a good play by Baldino. He'll get it over to Tinoco for the 4-3 put out and out number 1 here in the final frame of this first game of the doubleheader. Remember, we're playing 2 today, so Region 19 and most college doubleheaders go. 2 7-game varieties. That ball is lifted way out to right field. It gets over the head of Warner. Don't look now, but Firpo is at second. Holds up, thought he was going to go to third. That is not the case. So the Buccaneers. Bit of a defensive miscue late. That could cost them. We'll see what happens. Hamill has been very efficient, but they've just given the Dukes a little bit of hope as we're 1 out here in 7th inning. That was, I stand corrected, that was Joe Jasinski. Was off one of my book. So the double goes to Jasinski, and it's now Firpo, who is at bat. He chops one. First pitch offering is foul. So I regather myself here. Fog lifts yet again out here in Bader Field. Firpo now works 1-1. Chopper over to third, looking back. Suarez gets it over to Tinoco, and now with 2 outs. Things just got interesting. It's the catcher, John Wallace, is due up, but it appears we have a pinch hitter. It's number 5. So it's 5 for 31. Tying run, just 90 feet away. Joe Hamill remains on the mound. And it'll be St. Augustine alum Jack Peacock. Peacock hits a ball, lifts it out to right field. Warner gonna make the squeeze, and that will win the ball game. So a good way to recover by Warner. He misplayed a ball earlier in the inning, but he comes up when it mattered most, and they're able to close the door. It's a complete game victory for the starting pitcher, Joe Hamill. We'll get a chance to gather the final stats here in just a quick second. But the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers take game number 2 in this series, and the rubber match is coming up in probably about 30 minutes. right here on BFA Sports. We'll give you a quick rundown, though, for Hamill, as we're going to tally up his stats. I believe he just gave up 2 hits in the entire game, so nice job there by Hamill. Eight strikeouts, 2 hits. And just 2 walks. So an absolute gem, complete game win for Joe Hamill. But that'll do it for now. Game number 3 in this Region 19 series is coming up in just about 30 minutes. Looking at game time of probably about 4:10 for first pitch. But until then, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back for more Buccaneer baseball right here on BFA.